Hi, welcome back. In this video, we'll be covering how to establish your columns for your list recipe. In the first video, we built the rows. Now in this video, we'll go after the individual pieces of data you want to capture. The first step is to click Add New Column. You'll have to add a new column for every piece of data you wish to extract. For this first column, let's say we want to get the name. We'll then click the Easy Column Finder, and similar to the row finder, this will turn your mouse into a magic wand. You'll want to hover over the piece of data you wish to capture. Then we'll hit C on our keyboard. You'll want to confirm that the data is correct, and then click Confirm. You can double check your work by clicking the Data button next to the name. Great, that looks good. You can also preview your data from the top right corner. Looks good there as well. Great, so we'll go ahead and do Add New Column for an additional piece of data. Let's say this time we want to get the location. Again, we'll click Easy Column Finder, hover over the piece of data you want, and then hit C. Double check your work, and then confirm. Now we'll move on to another type of data. Let's say we want to capture the URL. I'll do Add New Column, name it URL, and then click Easy Column Finder. This time, within Recipe Creator, you'll want to choose URL. It's typically text by default. Once you've chosen URL, you want to click back to the website because the focus is currently on Recipe Creator. So we'll click on the website, then we'll hover over where you think the URL is, and then again we'll hit C. Great. We've now found the URL. We'll click Confirm. If you ever have trouble finding the URL, I'll show you a troubleshooting method. We'll click the gear icon to edit this column. Then we'll click Edit. We'll go to the Easy Column Finder again, and just like before, we'll hover and hit C. And in this scenario, we have found the URL, but if it ever shows up blank, you can then scroll down and click Expand Selection. This will then tell DataMiner to move up the HTML and look for it in additional places. Once it's found, it will then show up in this box, and then you can click Confirm. Great. So now at this point, we'll move on to the Advanced Finder. We'll click Add New Column, and let's say this time we want to get the name once again, but we'll be using the Advanced Finder. We'll scroll down, and then I'll expand the Advanced Settings. Then I'll click the green Advanced Finder button, and similar to before, this will turn your mouse into a magic wand. You want to hover over the piece of data you want to capture. This time you'll hit Shift on your keyboard. Recipe Creator will then suggest a few pieces of HTML you can use to identify the data. You'll then want to choose either a class, an element tag, or an ID that captures the data. Great, that looks good. So now we'll click Confirm. And we'll do Add New Column. And this time, let's say we want to get some additional data about the person. So let's say we want the experience. And we'll do Advanced Settings. And this time we'll actually cover some troubleshooting. I'll click Advanced Finder, hover over the experience, and then hit Shift. As you can see, I can choose experience, which would target that data. But if you didn't have this option and you only had a P element, you can see that it's capturing multiple pieces of data. In this scenario, you'll then use our sibling arrows. The sibling arrows allow you to pick data based on its position. I'll click the next button a few times until the dotted line is outlining the data. Great, that looks good. So now we'll click Confirm. And this time we'll do Add New Column and target the industry. We'll do Advanced Settings, Green Finder, and then we'll hover and shift over the word Software. However, again, as you can see, it's capturing too much data. In this scenario, rather than using the sibling arrows, I'll use the Parent button. This will move DataMiner up the HTML. As you can see, there's now an industry class. I'll go ahead and choose that. Great, I'll click Confirm. And now we'll do one last troubleshooting. We'll do an Add New Column. This time we'll target the clearance. Click Advanced Settings, Advanced Finder, and again, we'll hover and shift over the piece of data. But similar to before, we do not have a class to choose from. But I'll take note of the strong. So in this scenario, we want to capture this actual piece of data, the TS/TCI, but not get the clearance text. So if I click the parent button and then choose clearance, it captures the data, but it's also capturing the title as well. A way to avoid this is then if we were to type that strong back in. So essentially we clicked the blue parent button, which moved us up the HTML to find the class, but then typing the word strong within the selector input is then telling Data Miner to move back down the HTML and find just the bolded text, which is the data that you want. So we'll do space and then type strong. Great. So as you can see, we've now captured just the value. At this point, we'll click confirm, and now you have your columns for your recipe. At this point, you could then move on to the next step, which is the nav. We'll have a separate section that covers this process. Once your nav is complete, you'll go to the Save tab, give it a name, click Save, and then click Scrape in Data Miner. You'll then find the recipe under your My Recipes tab. The next step would then be to choose which method you want to use to scrape. There's New Scrape, Scrape and Append, or Next Page Automation. We have videos that cover all these methods. You'll find these under our Page Scrape section. If you have any questions, please email us at support@dataminer.io. Thanks for watching.